Okay, so like I said in the previous video, I want to do a series entitled Misteachings of the Church. And then this is going to be the first video. And there's going to be a couple in here about righteousness, but this is going to be the first one. The first one is the concept, the notion of imputed righteousness. Okay, you hear this concept a lot, and every church I've been to teaches it in basically the same way. You're bad. You're full of sin, you sin all the time, you suck, but it's okay because you've got imputed righteousness. God's not looking at your deeds, God's not looking at what you're doing. He's looking at this covering that you have from Christ. He's looking at this imputed righteousness. And I get what people are saying when they say that, but every church I have gone to, I would contend, teaches that concept wrong, because I'm going to tell you how imputed righteousness actually works. So the best way to understand imputed righteousness is this. Let's say I'm not good at basketball, and I can't make a layup, I airball free throws, like I'm just no good at basketball. And so all of a sudden, here comes Michael Jordan, and he gives me imputed greatness. He gives me imputed basketballedness, right? And so now all of a sudden I'm really good. Now all of a sudden I can make these free throws, and I can hit these 3-pointers, and I can make the layups, and I can make the slam dunks, and I can catch the alley-oops, and I can do all this stuff that Jordan does because I've got his imputed greatness. So now I'm doing the things that he does because of what he gave me. See, it's not the case that if you were to get Michael Jordan's imputed greatness, that you would airball free throws and then the referees would go, he made it. Or you'd airball 3-pointers and the refs are going to go, oh, 3 points, 3 points, win it. It's not going to be the case that you're going to miss a slam dunk and then the commentators are going to go, what an incredible slam dunk. Like, that's basically how the church teaches imputed righteousness, that you're still doing all kinds of stuff wrong, and it's okay, because when God looks at you, he doesn't say, oh, you're doing all this stuff wrong. Oh, I don't care. I just see my perfect son when I look at you. It doesn't work like that. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that you're saved by works, okay? I'm not talking about, works-based salvation or whatever. But my point is that this is how it works. When you receive the redemption of Christ, and you truly receive it, and you receive the indwelling Holy Spirit, now not only are you his, there's a level on which you're him. Like, he dwells within you. He merged with you. The two shall become one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning the church. You're the temple of the Holy Spirit. God dwells within you. You have merged with God. And so now, because you have him within, now because you are part him, now you can do the things of him. Now you can live that life that you couldn't live prior to that. Prior to that, you're on your own. It's just you and your conscience and, the laws of where you live and the customs and all of that stuff. And so to live out this holy, righteous life, it's pretty much not going to happen. But with God, all things are possible. Now that you've got his indwelling Holy Spirit, now you can walk a walk that is pleasing to him. Now you can live a life that is good, that he would have you live. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect. I'm not saying you're never going to make a mistake, but not being perfect and making mistakes is a far cry from what the church en masse teaches, which is, it doesn't matter if you're sinning a lot. It doesn't matter if you're falling short all the time. That stuff doesn't matter, because when God looks at you, he sees the perfection of his son. If you're sinning all the time and you're failing left and right and you're going into these long seasons of sin, then you need to question whether or not you're truly his. Because like I've talked about in other videos, you can believe in vain. And Paul says, inspect yourself to see whether ye be in the faith. I mean, there's lots of those types of passages. Be ye doers of the word, not hearers only, all that different type of stuff. So, the call from God is absolutely, it's not even the call. If you've received the Holy Spirit and you've gone through what the Bible would call a rebirth, and you've been literally made into a new creation, something that is now part human, part Holy Spirit, which that's what you are if you've received the indwelling Holy Spirit, then your life is just going to be vastly different. You're going to start to live out a more holy, righteous life because now you're part him. You're his and you're part him. So that's just how it works. So again, I'm not preaching works-based salvation. I'm not telling you got to be perfect, but I am telling you that imputed righteousness means he's given you his righteousness. So now go out there and be righteous. Now go out there and be holy. Go out there and be the salt of the world. Go out there and be a light unto a dark world. Receive his imputed righteousness and express it out into this dark world. So that's what imputed righteousness really looks like. That's it. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Aloha. God bless.